$48,400,500 is how much you need for the Money Front Summer DLC in GTA Online. I'm going to try and make as most accurate as possible estimate for how much money you will need if you want to buy everything in this next update. We got 3 businesses already confirmed and 5 vehicles that we know of so far. And I'm going to take the last 2 GTA Online DLCs, Ages of Sabotage and Bottom Dollar Bounties, summarize all of those, how much vehicles we got, how much those vehicles cost, and try to estimate how much money you will need for all the vehicles, all the business upgrades, everything in this next DLC. Now this is going to be a lot of math. I did the math so you guys don't have to. And let's start off with the 3 businesses. We have 3 businesses. Number 1 is the hands-on car wash. This is going to be like the main hub of the business aspect in this update. This could be your main business you have. You buy it, you go in, go out daily of this business and manage everything from here, sell from here. Right in the middle of the city. I'm estimating this will cost $1,500,000 and that is on the cheaper end. The last update, we had the Darnell Bros Garment Factory and it cost $2,350,000, but that was one business. It didn't have any upgrades at all. It was one of the first businesses to have absolutely no upgrades at all. This update, you're gonna have this one business, but also 2 side businesses that revolve around the main one, the hub. These 2 businesses are Smoke on the Water and Higgins Heli Tours. Smoke on the Water is actually a returning one from the story mode that Franklin has. He can buy this business and go in, do missions for it. And I feel like it's kind of going to be a little repaint of that. Just, you get a phone call from whoever owns it, or whoever is in charge of it, the manager, and he tells you, hey, go do some stuff. In Rockstar's own words, this is going to be kind of like you going to manage a legitimate business to make money for your main business, the hands-on car wash, and the other weed MC businesses. So that's kind of how this DLC is going to work. So I'm estimating around $1 million. I do think it's going to be cheaper than the hands-on car wash and Higgins Heli Tours, because Higgins Heli Tours, the final side business we have in this DLC, I'm again estimating $1 million. I'm estimating these 2 are probably going to be the same. Maybe Higgins Heli Tours is going to be a little more expensive because of the location is right next to the Pegasus pickup point. Imagine spawning outside your jet from inside of the business. That would be an amazing feature to have. So in the car wash, you're going to be able to buy these other 2 side businesses and they're going to basically be like kind of passive income, but you do have to go manage it to keep up that passive income. So in total for all 3 businesses is going to be $4 million around that range, minus any possible upgrades. Now Rockstar does say something interesting that we're going to be finding some people to help us make money with this business. So that makes it sound like it's like the Bottom Dollar Bounty DLC where we bought those 3 NPCs that help you make money in the business. It sounds exactly like that. So maybe that's going to be upgraded, add on $500,000 for that. I'm not going to include that in total, but that might be that upgrade they're talking about in that post. So the total so far, $4 million. Now onto the vehicles, which probably most people are looking forward to. We actually have 5 vehicles confirmed so far. The Karen Evron RS, which might be a pickup truck that we see in the screenshot. The Woodlander SUVs with the S, so that might mean the SUV and a pickup truck. We did see that pickup truck in a screenshot. The Class A Tampa GT, which is a muscle car vehicle. The Western Police Bike with the outfit. And Overflood Suzume Supercar, which is free for GTA Plus members. So let's break down the prices for these vehicles. So the Karen Evron RS. The OG Karen Evron is a pickup truck. It costs $1.4 million. We're assuming the Evron RS is going to be maybe a pickup truck, maybe a little hatchback, but at least a little bit faster, a little more expensive, $1.8 to $2 million. So let's put the Karen Evron at RS at $2 million. The Woodlander SUV with the S, so there could be more than one, maybe a SUV and pickup truck version. Recent SUVs range from $2,400,000 to $1.6 million, so Averaging this around some of the recent SUVs would make it a total of $2 million on the dot. So those two exactly $2 million averaged. Next up is the classic Tampa GT, which I'm putting at $2 million, $158,000. So the Tampa is already a modern-ish vehicle, so GT would assume it's at least double, 2 times as fast, and maybe with the HSW upgrade as well. Also, all the recent muscle vehicles have been insane, but also with an insane price tag. Very expensive. Some of them even more expensive than the top supercars and faster than the top supercars too. So averaging the numbers of the Dominator GT, Vajero ZX, $2.1 million, 2.3, 2.1, and 1.9 brings it to a total of $2,158,000. Again, I want to make this as accurate as possible for you guys, so this is the way I'm doing it. Now, the Western police bike with the outfit. Rockstreet can either give it away for $500,000, you know, it's just a bike, or if they're planning on letting us do the police interceptor vehicle missions with this, they can raise $2 million for this one bike. Also, it has a rare outfit that can only be unlocked by buying it, so you know they're going to raise the price on that too. So you only expect it's going to be at least $1 million, maybe even $2 million for this one bike alone. And then probably what most people are looking forward to, the Overflood Suzume Supercar. Maybe electric. All of these sound electric. The Evron RS and Suzume, but this one actually looks electric. It looks like an insane supercar. It doesn't look like it's going to be maybe the best in the class right now, unless it has an HSW upgrade, of course. But for the standard one, no upgrades at all, $2,800,000 is my prediction for this. And it's a supercar. What else do I need to say to judge that price tag? Those are the 5 vehicles we know of so far, and it has a total of $10,958,000 for those 5 vehicles. So a total so far would be $14,958,000 so far. And that's actually a good place to stop at for day 1 as well. Launch day, you usually only get about 6 vehicles or so. The business, of course, maybe something else. And then we have the Dripfeed content. Last DLC, we only had 6 vehicles for Dripfeed content, which, by the way, that was the least we've ever gotten ever. We had to wait 6 months with 6 Dripfeed vehicles to last that whole 6 months. But even if we don't get all of those 5 vehicles I just listed on day 1, because we probably won't, that's still a good estimate, because 5 vehicles, $14 million, that's pretty much exactly matches up with the last DLC cost on day 1 as well. And this isn't counting any crazy $5 million police car we might get as well, so you gotta remember that. Now, with the last few DLCs, we got about 15 to 20 vehicles total. So we just got 5 that we know of that are confirmed so far. So now let's get 10 more. And what we're going to do here is count the averages from the last DLCs. And that also means this is $14 million is really as far as we could go to make it as most accurate as possible. From here on out, it could really go any direction. So we actually didn't get a lot of new sports cars and supercar vehicles in the last DLC, only about 5. The rest were either variants of other current cars or slow vans or planes or helicopters. So let's go back to the bottom dollar bounties DLC. With that DLC, on the Legendary Motorsport website, we got 6 new vehicles. Southern Standard Jura Super Autos, we got 1. Warstock Cash and Carry, we got 3 Interceptors. That's 10 vehicles total on day 1 and 11 including the new van, which doesn't really count. And we got 6 Dripfeed vehicles. $43 million for all vehicles total, which matches very closely with the Sabotage DLC. With the Ages of Sabotage DLC, we got 6 vehicles on day 1, which got to a total of $19.9 million for day 1 for the vehicles alone, and 9 vehicles for the Dripfeed content. Combined, that brought it to a total of $42.2 million for all the vehicles. So let's break this upcoming DLC down. So let's say we get 2 or 3 supercars. In the bottom dollar bounties DLC, it was an average of $2.175 million per supercar vehicle. So let's say we get 3 supercars, that will bring it up to $6,525,000 for 3 supercars. And let's assume we get 5 sports or sedan vehicles as well. Those would be on the Southern Standard Super Autos website. Last DLC, it ranged from $1.5 million average for each vehicle. So let's times that by 5. That is $7,500,000 for 5 of them. But of course you can still, again, have a $5 million crazy car that shows up randomly. Or all of them be $200,000, who knows. But that's my estimate to make this as accurate as possible for 5 sports or sedan vehicles. And for our last few DLCs, we have been getting police vehicles, interceptor vehicles, and the last DLC was insane with a sabotage DLC. 5,057,500 for the average for the last DLC. Only 3 police vehicles. So let's times that by 3 for this on average maybe. And the total for the police vehicles would be around 15,172,500 GTA cash. That is insane. Almost more than all the other vehicles combined. Just for the police interceptors. And maybe throw a helicopter or plane in there. Let's just use the last DLC, the Iron Mule, as an example. $2,345,000. Copy and paste that onto this. And for all the vehicles combined, that would be $31,542,500. The total so far, $46,500,500. And we have 2 other smaller categories to touch on. The weapons, we only got 1 weapon in the last DLC, so that, and the last DLC before that, I think we only got 1 also, so $700,000. Let's copy and paste the last weapon we got. This does look to be a more mission-based update, so I'm assuming we might get 1 weapon. So $700,000, add that on top of the total. And clothing and hairstyles, these usually range around from $1.2 to $1.5 million total for each DLC, so let's add on $1.2 million to that. And the grand total for this DLC, $48,400,500 GTA cash. That is insane. A little bit more than last DLC, but all these recent DLCs since the contract usually range from 40 to 42 to 44. So not that high. The contract was by far one of the most expensive of all time. This isn't a contract level update. This is more aligned with the Agents of Sabotage or Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC. I would say Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC is what this is more aligned with. So that matches up pretty closely to this. Now we don't know all of the vehicles that we might get some insane new jet that we don't even know about yet, but this is everything that is confirmed so far and some estimates I made on the vehicles to get the most accurate number as possible of what we might receive in the Money Fronts DLC coming June 17th. I know that was a lot of number, guys, but if you guys got this far, hopefully you liked that. Probably means you liked it. So leave a like on the video and get grinding. You only have, what, 2 more days left to grind. And I'll see you guys in what video I make next.